Hello, my beautiful people. All right, so here's our goal, and I just want to say what I really like about it is something we work on a lot in training is playing quick, right? Because they're out of shape, and we're going to find in the second half when they're in shape against us, it's a difficult build. But look, Elvis does. I always wanted to go to the keeper, but it's now you guys have graduated to the point where you can use the next level of thinking where you're like, look, if somebody's wide open, then you don't have to draw pressure if you can move up the field faster. I needed to teach you guys first the importance of drawing pressure so you can know the difference. But now you guys do know the difference. So Elvis is smart, plays it right to me. I'm not really breaking a line, so I don't love it from my perspective. Like, could I be 2 steps farther back? But then maybe he wouldn't, he would be able to press me easier. So boom, also, quote unquote, I want the ball, so that's good. I like this. Then at this moment, Nardo's in a good place. Manny's in a good place. Manny could maybe be here. Actually, Roberto should be here, but it didn't happen. We did it so quickly that we weren't also in shape, which means we have to think faster. So Roberto, in this instance, right here, okay, we're going to play quick. We know you're going to play quick. Boom. I need you, and you're moving pretty quickly, to be fair to you, to get into this spot, which you're doing. So you know what? You did great. Take it back. All right. Then, boom, Roberto's in a good spot. Manny, this is something I need to work on with you. I don't like you in here. You do this kind of often, where you end up in this space. I want you to stay in this space here. And I want this space to kind of remain empty. You can move into it, but I don't love you here. I'd rather you be on this side of the 10 or like up here. It's because now we're in a straight line and I just don't like you receiving it there. Like right now, could I give it to you and maybe turn to your left foot? Probably, actually, and that would be a good spot. But I'd prefer if you're here, and then maybe I could play that ball to Miles, and then it comes to you here. So, look, I'm the coach. It's not to say I'm right, but I would prefer you here, even though you are open right here, to be fair to you. You are very open. And if I just pass it to you, you can turn out this way. But our numbers aren't great, so that's why I don't love it. But you're in a good spot, so nothing against that. Then, boom, Nardo takes a space, maybe give it to Ari right away, but credit to him, he's dribbling. Miles, onside, running in behind, classic Miles run, which we love to see, and then he shoots and scores. And look at that, they never touched the ball once, guys, and it was all because of our build. I'm so proud of all of you, really. We've been working on this for a year. I'm just gonna watch it again from the top. We've been working on this for a year. Our outside back is tucked in. We find through the middle. I take space, draw pressure, just like the center backs. Manny, it is a really good spot. I'd still prefer you out wider. Nardo, great turn. Takes his space all the way to the other half. Never are we concerned about pressure. Great ball in behind. That's a running ball and a goal. Come on, guys. It's so good. So I haven't had a lot of opportunities to talk about our press. And part of the reason we don't talk about our press all that often is because it varies so much per game. Our game model on the ball is always the same, but off of it, it varies. So like right now, Andreas is pressing their center back. The reason it varies is because while I'm playing, I'm kind of calculating in my brain how I think we should press. And I can kind of tell you this, I like a high press most of the time. The question is who should be pressing who? And traditionally speaking, Andreas, instead of you pressing the center back, you're gonna press your guy. And this center back is gonna be pressed by either Manny, or if it was Nardo on the other side, and Miles will either go press the other center back or go press the keeper, or if Miles was pressing this center back, then Nardo would get ready to press this center back. So usually the outside mids are not going to press the center backs. That's pretty much the case. The problem with that is, let's say this center back enters this channel, well then that's different. Then Andres might be pressing this, where right now he's in this channel. We'll call this channel like from the 18, this line right here. That means Manny should be pressing because it's not outside of the 18. So then Manny can press the center back, and that leaves, and I know that will leave him open, and it also leaves a huge gap open here. That's what happens when you high press. And I think that we can handle it because I let one of our center backs mark 1v1, and that's the risk we take. So here is a good example. This should be Miles pressing, and Andreas you should be like here, getting ready to press him. But that's exactly what happens. And then he's open, and Roberto should be up as tush. That is what should be happening. And where's Roberto? He's coming up. Roberto, you can be even higher. This is nervous. I get it. But if any of us are halving a press, meaning half pressing like a half-boiled egg, we're going to get screwed. So you have to be right on them, make them go backwards. And look, they did a good job. We're high pressing. In this sequence, probably what should have happened in a perfect world is Manny would have just stayed there, and I'm right here, and Manny didn't even need to come back. And then he could defend less. But look, they did a good job. We're still pressing, which I really like. We don't give up on the press. Good job. Then I think I tell Nardo like to go to the center back even. It goes to outside mid. Nardo does extra covering. Then I jump a press, and then we win it. And that's sometimes what it takes. It's not always going to be like the first press. And these moments, guys, kind of felt like what felt like the second half for us. Meaning, look, they're trying to play out of the back. They can't break our pressure. We keep the ball here. It's, we press again. We press again. We win it again. They're miserable. This is kind of how we felt in some cases towards that second half. So, and it was because we double high press. Sometimes we have to do it twice. You're not going to win it the first time. Roberto, great spot here. I like that as you covered me. So in the press, the main bottom line is if it's usually going to be striker goes to center back or center mid goes to center back. Wingers are going to stay on their wingers, on their outside backs. I'll talk you guys through it, but good job. Okay, so here's a build, and I'm really happy. So what happens is it's a big kick on their part. We're all fine, no big deal. We play to Charlie. Charlie's amazing. Draws to feet. He waits until Elvis gets into shape. Elvis turns beautifully, finds the middle guy. Roberto, you're an outside back playing center mid. Amazing. You do a really good job to keep it. And this is what I wanted to show you, Manny. This is the spot I like you in, Manny, right here. So you could have been here too. You could have been in this spot, which is the spot you often take up. I don't like this spot because it's a straight line pass. So by the time you get it and receive it, they're on top of you. So that's why I don't like you in the center here. The other reason is this next pass that you complete is a really easy pass. Boom, into Miles. That's lovely. So I don't like when you go too central because this is nice. Now Miles, I think, screws it up. No, perfect. It's perfect, Miles. And this is so much better. All of this is so much better. Oh, and it's all mainly because Manny, instead of you going, right, you could have just as well gone in here. And if you did, Roberto could have played you, but you wouldn't have been able to turn. He would have ran at you by the time. Then maybe you could have typed it into Nardo. I'm not saying it's not possible sometimes, but the default would be outside of the center mids is where I would prefer you. And then either moving in is fine or hopefully receiving it out here. To your point though, if you were here and you received it and took 2 touches into Jaden or otherwise you could play Nardo and Nardo would be freaking in. So I do see the value in that. Not taking that away completely from you, but for, say we're in level 1 or 2 of learning the build, we're probably more at level 3. For now, I want this part where you're on the outside of him. In the future then, you can go on the inside. And this is Drew, Nardo, Keem. This is for the same for you guys. Try not to be in a straight line with me or with the other center mids because it's very difficult usually to play out of it. Hey guys, one of the things that happened in the game is in the second half, especially when they were putting a lot of pressure on us, we would just kick it away. And I understand why we want to win. I'm getting that, and I know that's within reason, but as the coach, do not fucking kick the ball away. I don't care if we get scored on. The reason is not only because I, of course, want to keep the ball, but it's also when you kick it away, you give yourself almost zero chance of keeping some sort of possession, which relieves so much pressure. So just as an example, this is Jaden way in the corner here, and he tries to play out of this, and it doesn't work. Or it's Dom. I think it's Dom, actually. He tries to play out of it. It doesn't work, but he tried. I said, play out of it, play out of it. He tried to make a pass, didn't work. But guess what? We're all in shape because we thought he was going to try and pass it. When they're just going to kick it, sometimes players will make a run to go get the kicked ball. I don't want that. So we're still in shape, and then everyone relax. And this is really important. When you're defending, you're going to relax your jaw. Elvis is going to turn his body and go, look, they're going to score. If they're going to score, it's going to be here, okay? If they score from way out here, that's unlikely. So eventually the ball's got to end up here, okay? It's almost a fact. So just relax and go, everybody keep their feet, no fouls because that's something they can be decent at, and just everybody stay in shape and we're fine. Look, he may have messed up the pass, Dom, in this instance, but look and they kick it out of bounds. And we tried to play, and that's what I prefer. And I give applause because I'm happy with how that went. So do not just kick it away when we are defending. Try and play out of it, except for Charlie. Charlie's the only one who has permission to kick it big when we're not in shape.